Hi, today we will going to animate our mushrooms. I now open the 3dsMax and I need to open also my scene editor. First I will create a sphere that will act like the environment of my scene. I need to adjust the bottom part of the sphere so it will have a floor. Therefore, I first open the edges and then convert this shape to editable poly. And I will use the vertices for that. I will use soft selection, so not just the vertices I selected are affected, but also the other parts. So you can see that these are the affected are more and the other ones are affected a bit less. So I will make this part of the sphere a bit more flat. If you are also satisfied with the shape, you can also use it like this. As we will use the inside of this shape, I need to delete some parts of it. So I will select these ones and click delete. You see that the inside is black and the outside is shiny because this is just a surface, does not have a thickness. We can either create a shell for that or flip the normals, so we will just be using the inside of it. It's easier to flip the normals, so we won't see the outside of this geometry, we will see just the inside of it. In order to have a stage-like environment inside, I will going to create a cylinder for that. So this would act like a stage. And I will create a simple mushroom, which will be done through revolving a line. I will change the pivot. Therefore, I open my snap tools and will snap this one to the end of the shape. As we did it also in the last weeks, I won't be telling all the steps, but probably you will remember it. we will use the letter option here, and we then create this shape. We need to flip the normals here as well. There are some problems here, but for now it's not that much important. I guess it's quite nice like this. I wouldn't use the smooth option here. We will be just seeing an object. I will create a camera for our scene. So I go to the create option and go to the cameras here. I will use a target camera. As you see, we can have several options about the camera here as well. So I created the camera. As you can see, we have one camera and its target. So we can separately adjust them. I will adjust the position of the camera and also adjust the target. As you see, I clicked to the target, and the target is my object. I try to select the center of it. And when I right click to the perspective here, you can see that I can select the camera. So this will be what I can see from the camera I placed. If I select the camera and go to its properties, when I select the lenses, you can see that I will be seeing several parts of the object. So I guess 24 would be fine, or 35. Let's, in order to see the whole object, I guess 24 would be better. And as you can see that we can also adjust other properties of this object, of this camera, which you can also, if you have a more crowded scene, you can really see the effects of it. As we have just one object, I don't think we can really see depth of field or several options that we have here, so I wouldn't be changing them. This would be our view from the camera. We can also adjust it if you want by adjusting the position of the camera. For this, I need to also draw a path that this camera is going to follow. Therefore, I will need to draw some lines, some paths, and the best for this object, as it is just a revolved one, would be to create a helix so we can see the scene from different sides. You can also adjust these properties from here afterwards if you would like to. You can make more turns. I guess this is just fine for now. I would like to follow. I would like that my camera follows this path. Therefore, I will need to create some constraints. I click the camera option with the camera and go to the animation, go to constraints and go to path constraints, and I need to select this path. As you see, my camera moved to the bottom or to the beginning of this path. And as I have here a timeline of 100 frames, it just adjusted that the line begins from 0, and if it is on the 100, it is at the end of this path. You can see that we are not really seeing the whole object, so therefore I can maybe modify the path of my camera, which is the helix, so I can see if I'm at 100 the whole scene. I guess if I scale it, it will be okay. So I scaled my helix. So at the end I can see the whole object, and the beginning is somewhere like here. I can also adjust the position of this helix, so I have a better starting position. Oh, this was too much. I guess somewhere here it will be nice to begin, and I will go around the object and see the whole thing at the end. If you click here play, you can see that our camera plays, and if I'm in this viewport, we can see that our camera is moving around my object. You can also adjust the timeline. If you click this here, you can have different options, PAL and NTSC. This is for European channels, and this is, I guess, for US and Japanese channels, the standard of it. You can also use custom frames. So now we have for each second 30 frames. As we have 100 frames, we have around 3 seconds animation. You can also see either the frames or also the seconds if you would like. I will go with the standard options, but if you are going to animate your own scene, you need to adjust and calculate how many frames you need to have for your scene. The next thing will be to animate the object itself. So we have a camera that moves, and we need to have an object that is going to be animated. Therefore, I will be using a modifier that we also know from the other weeks. I will convert this object to editable poly, and I will use the bend modifier, so it will bend to both sides. For that, I will also use I will need to adjust the pivot point of this object, which will be, if it is here, will be easy for us to adjust. When we go back to the editable poly and add the bend modifier to it, we need to adjust the axis. I guess this axis is quite well, so I restore the options. So now we are going to use the animation timeline here. At the beginning of the scene, we will see the mushroom like this. I will open the auto key, which will automatically adjust this or add keys when I modify the scene. So at some point here, I would like to have my mushroom or my object to bend in that direction. And when I move on, somewhere here it needs to bend to the other direction. And at the end, it should be just as in the beginning. Because the auto key was open, it automatically created the in-betweens. If I don't want to animate any other things, I need to click this again. So I won't make any modifications to my scene. So now our camera moves and also our object is being animated as well. So this would be our scene. I didn't add any materials and lights because otherwise it will take too much time to render the whole scene. But if you would like to invest more time, you should of course add lights and materials to it. Now we need to create this small video. Therefore I go to the setup, render setup. I don't want to have a single frame. I will have a full frame. But in order for us to see the results quickly, I will just be animating 30 seconds. So I will be just seeing till this part. The output I also adjust because I want to see the results very quickly. I need to select the camera from here, field render, so it it renders from my camera perspective. And I need to also create a file that this video is going to be saved. I call it scene. I need to select AVI because this would be a video. I can also adjust the video details here. I will be using a JPEG compressor, so it is going to be a small file. So this will be the file I will be, my scene is going to be rendered. This is the size I would like to have. This is the renderer, and I need to select the production rendering, and also I selected that I will need just 30 seconds. So I click to the render. And you can see that which frames are going to be rendered here. So this is the first frame, and if it finishes, it should begin with the second frame. And it will go on till 31, as we have selected 31 frames. So nearly all of the frames are rendered now. All the ones we selected, of course. If you would have more time, we will see the 100. So the 3dsMax finished the rendering, and as we know where the file is, we need to go to there. And now we can see our 30 frames. So it's quite just 1 second probably. I guess this is how you can animate a camera and also objects in 3dsMax. And I guess if you combine the lights and the materials, you can really create a nice setting. And if you adjust the timeline, you can create, of course, a longer animation. So we will probably develop those skills in the next semester as well, as we will finish the semester with making a storyboard and thinking about the scene of our final animation. Thank you.